We're looking at a match here from the Bundesliga 2 with Firth against Kaiserslautern. And if you look at this market, 2.9 for the home team, 2.48 for the away team. So it's a pretty even matchup, okay? Kaiserslautern are the favourites, but in football, that's not a clear favourite. And as you might know from following a lot of these videos, when we're trading the correct score market, we tend to want a clear favourite because then we've got a good idea of which correct scores to cover. Well, anyway, we've still got involved and we've covered an awful lot of them. And as you can see, what we've covered here is the 0-1 and the 1-0 to both sides. So no matter who takes the lead, we should be in a position to potentially do something. But then the rest of it pretty much favours the home team, okay, with our plan Bs being things like a 1-1 or a 2-1, and also that 0-1 to Kaiserslautern. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. Let's see how this one goes in play. It's just about to kick off. So here we are at half time in this one, and it is 1-0 to the away team. So that's not great for us. Remember, we've obviously gone in favouring that home team. So 2-0, 3-0, those score lines are completely dead to us. And we're on the back foot, really. We're on the back foot in this one. So anyway, the good news is that we did cover the 0-1 to Kaiserslautern in case of this eventuality. And we're going to anticipate more goals. And also, we want to lower down the risk on this as much as we can. And so, no, that's not right. Let me try and put this down to 0. Yeah, let's just lay it off at 6.2. Pretty much down to 0, 30 pence. And let's just get that in the market. And so anyway, what you can see is that it's lowered down the risk, so we shouldn't be taking a full loss on this match in the very least, which is good news again. If Kaiserslautern do score again, we've just got to hold our hands up and say, do you know what, we've called it wrong, move on to the next match. At least we've lowered down the loss, right, and not taken a full hit on our stake. But an equaliser to Firth, and we're back in the match, okay? We're back in the trade, rather. So anyway, let's see what happens in the second half. It's 1-0 to Kaiserslautern at half-time. 55 minutes, we've got an equaliser. We're back in the trade. So it's Firth 1, Kaiserslautern 1, and that puts us on this 1-1 scoreline. We're going to use some of the green that we built up, and we're going to pretty much sacrifice it. Remember, we're still in danger, okay? We're still in danger on this trade, and if there is another Kaiserslautern goal, that will eliminate us. It will kill the trade, and we'll have to definitely take a loss because we don't have any score lines after that. But anyway, let me try and put this down to 0 and just try and get this in the market. And we should then be in a position where if we do get that Kaiserslautern second goal, our loss now is only going to be around a 31% loss on our stake, which is something we can handle, okay? Now, obviously, a lot of people, they do watch these videos and they're like, well, what happens when you lose a trade? What happens when it goes wrong? Well, in this case, Kaiserslautern score the next goal, we're going to lose 30% on our stake, and then that's it, okay? We just move on to the next trade. The idea is that on the winning trades, we can win a lot more than, say, this 31% loss that we could potentially take if Kaiserslautern do score. But anyway, I'm just looking at that worst case scenario. That's always something to keep in mind. Best case scenario right now, we do get Firth to take the lead and they go 2-1 up, and we've got a nice bit of green sitting on that, and the 3-1 as well. Break even if it remains 1-1. Let's see what happens. There's lots of time left in this one. It's 57 minutes. It's 1-1. 95 minutes are on the clock, and we've had a very late goal, and it has gone in our favour as Wagner has scored for Firth, and that's put us on that 2-1 scoreline. And as it stands, there's probably nothing more to do, but we're always going to err on the side of caution and lay it off, okay? And the big benefit of that is that, look, I mean, we're going to leverage up nicely if there is a third goal for Firth as well. So anyway, always worth doing. And anyway, you saw how this trade played out, and this should be, hopefully, a good example for those who wanted to see trades where it goes slightly against us, okay? So initially did go against us with Kaiserslautern taking the lead and being ahead at half time. Thankfully, we did have some green to play with, but you saw that we put ourselves in a position where we were trying to lower our potential risk. We were always in danger of Kaiserslautern getting that second goal and killing our trade, and we're going to have to take a loss, okay? And that was always there. And even late on, it was still there. Kaiserslautern could have scored, and we're looking at a £30 loss. And anyway, that's one thing we did. We put ourselves in a position where we could minimize that potential loss and maximize that potential gain. And in the end, we've walked out with £186 of profit. Not bad at all. And that is just to confirm the final whistle there. So not bad at all, okay? We were down to potentially losing £30 or winning £186. That's a very nice risk-reward ratio. And that is the beauty of trading the correct score market. If you can get your losses down to something like 30%, like we've just shown you, and get your wins up to 186%, then it takes a lot of the hard work out of this in the long term. So that is definitely the final score. Firth 2, Kaiserslautern 1. So a trade that started out bad, but we managed to turn around what was a bad trade initially. Okay, always a bit of a nightmare scenario when you've picked out a whole bunch of correct scores in favor of one team just for the underdog to take the lead. It's always, you're always up against it when that happens. However, you saw what we did and how it played out. Okay, as soon as Kaiserslautern took the lead and we were on the back foot, it was the whole mission really was to avoid taking a maximum loss. Okay, avoid losing our whole stake. So we have initially lowered our risk down to at least a minus 75%. Then later on, we got it down to a minus 30%. Now, in doing so, remember, as you lower your risk on the correct score market, you're adding to your potential profits. So there's almost no reason not to lower your risk. There's almost no reason. And when you think about trading in the long term, you want to really look closely at what is your average profit per win and your average loss per loss. Okay, your average loss, I mean, if you're entering with what we're doing today, £100 stake, if your average loss is consistently going to be 100%, where you're just leaving that in the trade and crossing your fingers, so when you lose, you're going to lose 100%, but your average win is what, 50%, then you're up against it from a risk reward ratio perspective. But if you can get your average wins well above the 100% and your average losses much lower and closer to what, 75% that we had at one point, or closer to 30%, then you're going to find it much easier to profit and move forwards in the long term. Okay, so anyway, good trade, but I don't really want you to concentrate on the profits that were made at the end of that trade. I'd want you to concentrate on what we did with lowering the risk as much as we could. Okay, so anyway, we made a very nice profit in that one. Firth against Kaiserslautern, 2-1 in the end. And as said earlier, if any of this correct score trading looks interesting to you, you want to learn more about it, make sure you get this free download. It's the Correct Score Mastery course prospectus. This will show you how you could potentially take things to the next level with your correct score trading. To get this free ebook, the link is in the description of this video. Just scroll below the video, click on it, fill out the form, and then we'll email the book to you. If you're on a big screen, you can scan that QR code and then fill out the form, and we'll email you the book also. Okay, it's absolutely free, and it will be the next step towards potentially learning and mastering the correct score market. So if you've liked anything you've seen today and you do want to learn more about it, then that's the next thing to do. Okay, go grab a copy of that. As said, link in the description, or scan the QR code. And what you've just seen was actually just a clip, and we've got plenty more where that came on. So the video on the screen right about now should direct you to the full video where you can get more information, see more live trades, more analysis, how they played out, etc, etc. So go click on that video and we will see you in that next video. It's highly recommended. Go check it out.